Hello, and welcome to me trying to decide what project I want to do next. What I have done is got all of the yarn that I think that I would like to use, and I've set it here, and I'm going to go through some ideas and hopefully figure out what's next. The first thing that I was thinking was I have this cardigan that I love. As you can see, it's very long, and I got this secondhand and I want to make a crochet version of it because every time I wear this I think, man, this would be so much better if it was handmade. And I have this white cotton yarn. The reason I am hesitant to start this one is because I kind of want to do the peacock lace that I just did, but I don't like to do basically the same project back to back to back. I get a little bored, so I think I need to set this one aside and do something in between, just a little mediator project before I start an entire thing of peacock lace again. I think people with loud cars should have to pay like double taxes. So the next project I was thinking was going to use this extra fine merino wool, which I don't think is the perfect summer project. So that's why this is kind of on the back burner. The other yarn that I was thinking is this like viscose bamboo viscose cotton blend, which is so soft, and I kind of want to make a tank top with it. I'm not super sure. It's also not a very summery color. It's like a deep army green. The last thing I was thinking was using this linen cotton blend to make a t-shirt, which I think is a very good idea because that is so summery and linen is like the perfect summer fabric. So this is what I am leaning toward. How many yards of this I have? I think I could make a t-shirt. I'm thinking a t-shirt. I think the floating rib stitch would be so adorable. Let me grab my scarf that I already made this stitch pattern with so that you can see what it looks like. Using my crafter's ruler here, which is knowing that my wingspan is 6 feet, I can say, yes, this scarf is 10 feet long. Here is my beautiful 100% wool scarf that I use this floating rib pattern with. You can see it's like a very nice zigzag. And with linen, I'm certain that this would still be very wearable for summer. Despite being that it's going to be a pretty thick fabric. This fabric is like an inch thick. Let's see. I know that this stitch pattern uses quite a lot of yarn. It makes a very thick fabric, so I think I have enough to make like a nice sort of cropped t-shirt. And oh, I love this because I'll be able to decrease it very nicely. So I'll make like a V-neck situation or a button-up situation. We're gonna start with the back panel so that way I don't have to make any decisions until I've already seen what this looks like. Okay, oh, I'm suddenly very excited. Let's do it. By the way, I'm using the Crochet Every Way Stitch Dictionary in order to create this pattern, and I just wanna show you all very quickly the diagram that I'm using and why this pattern is completely mind-melting. It doesn't compute. My eyeballs, I swear it makes me cross-eyed, I swear. This book I bought and I have it on Kindle, and I highly recommend that you buy this book if you would like to have access to diagrams and written patterns. And if you don't know how to read diagrams and written patterns, learn because it's awesome. If we can get ourselves something passable. You guys can be in frame. Wouldn't that be cute? Nice up in the corner there. So I have a weird hook here. This is a J-sized hook, but it's a 5.75, and usually J hooks are 6. And this yarn suggests using a 4.5 hook. So because I'm doing a solid fabric but still want it to be pretty airy, I am sizing up my hook. This is going to sound a little crazy, especially if you're a knitter, but this is as good as a gauge swatch as I need. I can see that the stitches are pretty airy, and I can also see that they're still pretty readable as a double crochet. So I'm pretty confident that this is going to look very cute. So I'm moving on without doing any more of a gauge swatch. By the way, I wanted to share the yarn that I am using. It's 40% cotton, 35% viscose, and 25% linen. I'm not going to share the specific brand because I don't buy the brand of yarn that I do because it's the best. I buy it because it's convenient for me, and you should buy what's convenient for you. There's nothing special about the yarn that I'm using. However, if you like leave a comment or DM me or ask me specifically for what yarn I use, I will share every time. I just try not to promote the specific brand as an attempt to not like influence or like de-influence. Like whatever, you know, we're a total store-bought is fine situation. I find that with yarn, you get what you pay for most times, so you should shop within your budget and not really worry about the brands. How many stitches did I get into that swatch before I was like, yep, I've seen enough, it's fine. And I was right, it is fine. Look at this. It's perfect size so far. The thing that confuses me is the pattern will say like front post, back post to tell you whether to add the next stitch on this side of the fabric. Here I'm doing a front post. Here I'm also doing a front post. Or on the back side of the fabric. This is a back post. So I'm stitching through the back. But once you turn your work, what the side that is the front and the side that is the back switches, and then I'm looking at my work and what I need to do next, and I'm like, okay, this needs to be a back post because this is a back post, and I want them to go the opposite way so that this one is now a front post because I've turned my, and I just talk myself in circles like that until I just simply don't know what to do. This scarf is what I would call legible, and I would call this stitch legible and readable. The readability is high. You can tell that this is a zigzag. I would describe this as having low legibility and low readability, which is fine. I'm not going to stop because I like the quality of this fabric. I like the meshiness. I like the sponginess. We're going to keep going, but we are not going to be as meticulous as with this scarf because if I mess up a row, I genuinely don't know if I'd be able to tell, especially from far away, and I don't think anyone else would be able to tell either. So we're about to zigzag, zag-zag. Do whatever we want. Absolutely illegible. I can't see anything. Part of that is because it's a looser gauge. Part of that is just the yarn itself. And compare that to like this, very clearly a zigzag. I love it. And here, get nothing. I'll know it's there and you'll know it's there. So I'm not going to be too salty that the zigzag doesn't show up basically at all. And I just worked through the rest of the day and the next day on the back panel. Call this move like hand blocking, especially when you're doing like front post back post stitches. It actually does help stretch out the stitches themselves and just move them to the right spot. Okay, I have 5 balls of yarn and I just used an entire one to make this panel, which is about half of what I would want for the back panel, which means this will take about 2 balls of yarn, and then the front will take 2 balls of yarn, and then the sleeves need to take half a ball of yarn each. I think that still works, especially because I'm doing a V-neck. Sometimes making a ball of yarn into a square piece of fabric just feels like magic, and this is one of those times. I mean, just what a superpower learning how to crochet is. I have this much yarn left of the second ball after finishing the back panel, so I'm ready to start on the front. I'm working from the bottom up, and I'm still thinking a V-neck, but I'm still thinking a V-neck over a button-up, so I'm gonna make the panel the same size as the back panel and work up until about right here, and then split it into a V-neck, and that should give me just enough yarn left over to do some cute little cap sleeves as well, and then some finishing touches like borders and things like that. So we are slightly less than halfway done. I am totally that girl that brings her crochet project with her wherever she goes, and I really like this one because sometimes the project just isn't very mobile. This one was, so I worked on it on my car and during my lunch break and all throughout my workday too. This front panel, I'm working on the 22nd row, and this is 46 rows. So I'll get to 23 rows and then start doing the decrease. But this is a really stretchy fabric. Like I don't see having issues with the fit because of how forgiving this like very spongy, airy fabric is going to be. The question is, how cute is it going to be? Because I am certain that this is going to make a top that I can wear. I am not certain that this is going to be a cute top, but that's okay. I can wear ugly things, and so can you. Who cares? Oh well. So I put a stitch marker in the center front, and this is 30 stitches on this side and 30 stitches on this side. And now I'll just go up making a V-neck until I have 46 rows, which will be the same length as the back. And then I will sew them along the torso after that, and then we'll work on the sleeves. So once I have something here that resembles the front of a t-shirt, then we should be good to go. So I've cut the shoulder off right here, and this leaves it a little short, about 10 rows to about 5 rows too short for the back panel. And then I will sew them together like this and then do a cute little frilly front panel for the t-shirt that will, I mean, it won't be frilly, it will be like just cut slightly looser. I might do a different pattern altogether, something a little more lacy, and then I will connect that to the back once it is long enough. And I think that that will give the top a little bit of the figure that it needs, a little bit of the flair, that elegant option. This was the original top design, very, very professional top design here. That's the new top design. Just a little bit, little ting at the bottom. Boom, top done. So now I'm going to sew these together, and then this is going to be the base that we're going to do all of the fun stuff off of, which is the best part of every project. I think this is so adorable. It's very soft and comfortable. It fits great. So next stops for me are sleeves and neckline, and then I'm going to use all of the yarn that I have left to make the bottom of the shirt look however I want. I'm thinking just a little bit of a frill, just a tiny, tiny plink of some glamour and some pizzazz and some little girly touches. Oh, I love it. And so that evening, my husband and I got some tofu bites and hung out with Baxter.
You have your chicken? You got your chicken? Oh, what a good chicken. What a good chicken.
And I settled down on the couch, and I actually finished the top. It went way faster than I was expecting. The only thing left to do was to put on my green robe and show y'all the reveal. How about this? My original intention was to create a linen t-shirt. And then halfway through, I was like, let's make a cute linen top. And then right at the end, I pulled it right back into just a plain t-shirt, just an everyday casual. And this might be the most casual piece I've ever made because I just love crocheting lace and adding it in. I think it looks adorable. So this is easily a very chill, easy to wear top. So let's get to the rubric. For technique, I'm giving myself a 1 because I didn't learn any new skills and I just strengthened an old skill, which I think that was worth my time, you know? You gotta go back and you gotta work on the basics every once in a while. For the construction, I'm also giving myself a 1. This is a very simple top. It's 4 pieces, you know, the front and the back sewn together. Very simple, nothing made specifically to my body or my measurements or anything couture bespoke here. It's a t-shirt. And for the finished product, easily giving myself a 3. This is just a throw on and go type of top, and I am so happy to add it to my wardrobe and get to wear it. So points from the rubric is 5, and I'm gonna give myself my bonus point for restraint, for just making a t-shirt with no other frills. I'm proud of myself for that. It can be tough to, that's the too much gene, right? It could be tough to work against that. And so I feel like I did that very well this time. So that's a total of 6 points, including my restraint bonus points. So I think that that's a great score for a very simple t-shirt that doesn't have a lot going on. Thank you so much for watching. It means a lot that you want to go through this whole process with me. I really appreciate it. If you want to see more random projects that I have coming up, feel free to subscribe. I've got a lot planned. In the meantime, I'll see y'all at the potluck. Bye.